friends around the world. My name is Kazu. I welcome you all to come and visit my page. And I hope you enjoy all my posts, pictures, and video clips. I want to use this wonderful opportunity to say thank you all who have been leaving your wonderful comments, messages, and gifts. And I hope I will hear from you again. I also want to say thank you for choosing to view this video clip.
I'm delighted to be able to introduce this particular session with regard to the visioning of world peace.
This was the first person that taught me that. She was at the State of the World Forum in 1995, which I attended as a filmmaker. Made a documentary of that event called On the Edge. We have some of those here. And it was when I was interviewing her that I learned something very important. She said, when you do something to make a difference, then you suddenly are filled with hope and enthusiasm. And all of the despair just drops away. The one thing it takes is that you have to actually get in the game and you have to do something. And then you have that light that you see in Bill's eyes and Kazu's eyes when he's not behind the camera. And the people that meet as POX 2100, you see that drive. Something about making yourself available to create a better future gives you all of the energy that you need to bring that off. And that is by way of beginning to introduce Robert and Barbara Muller, because they have that energy in
Very much, Douglas. The best thing of all the ideas I ever had was to marry her. And today I am almost myself a Santa Barbarian because she's writing my biography before I'm dead, and I'm married to a Santa Barbarian. And the future now has become absolutely essential for humanity due to the population explosion, due to the consumption explosion, due to so many things which are beginning to be wrong on this planet. So that I'm very glad to speak to you today. As a matter of fact, in order to elevate ourselves to the magnitude of what that means and what you have to do to elevate your own spirits and hearts to a world which will be a successful world and not an unsuccessful one. In order to give this spirit, I will start my lecture with music, so that you will be imbued by Beethoven and his Ode to Joy, in which the text of Schiller have a tremendous vision of the world of tomorrow and many ideas of how we should get there. The objective being of Schiller and Goethe to have all humans become one family of man and women. This should be our idea, to be one great human family on one planet. So I'm going to play this in order to give the tone to my speech, which is too human, not elevated enough. that I would work for peace. And something that happens in your life is that if you have really a very strong dream, it is getting fulfilled. The son of a hatmaker in the town of Sardinia, how could I expect that I would be able to do something for peace? But when you have a dream, there are all kinds of circumstances, there are invisible forces who work for you when you deeply believe in it. And I was so strongly aimed at doing it that one day in a train, having nothing to do, I remember reading an advice at the University of Strasbourg when I got a doctorate of law, a prize to the student who would write the best essay on how to govern the world. And I said to myself, that's addressed to you. Why don't you write how you would govern the world? I wrote the essay, there were only 3 days left, sent it in, and I got the prize. And the result was an internship in the United Nations in Lake Success near New York. Now, can you imagine that things like this will happen? And then my whole life was devoted to trying to get to this ideal government, which we need on this planet. And now the climatic changes, which cost already last year 150,000 deaths on this planet, the climatic changes will be looked into also. My daughter is an ocean biologist. She can tell you how much ocean levels are going to go down in the years to come. So that, to conclude and not to continue, there is so much more to be said, but to conclude, I would exhort you to really do what I have done, namely to dream. And what dream to do is to eliminate war from this planet. Those were the people who were dreaming. Become dreamers again. And in your book here, do not think that you have no influence. Sit down and write down what kind of a world you want to have in the year 2100, and the invisible forces will make miracles for you. Thank you very much.
Coming out getting my hair done, and the little girl sitting in the car next to me is crying her eyes out. And I said to her mother, what a beautiful little girl, why is she crying? I said, well, can I give her these M&Ms I carry around with me? And so I gave the girl M&Ms, and the mother said, don't you have any for me? And I gave the mother some M&Ms. I gave her a package of M&Ms. Well, a little miracle happened. There was peace in that car. The two of them stopped crying, stopped fighting, and they started eating M&Ms. That's peace. That's the way it begins. So then I said, here's what I do, and all I can do is tell you this. When one door closes, another door opens. And it's usually better than the one that closed. So why don't you look for the open doors instead of all those that have closed? And I said, the only reason I can say that is because that's what happened in my life. And what I do in my life, living with Robert, is he too gets down in the dumps, believe it or not. He has a little human side, and that human side sometimes has to go way down here and say, things just aren't working out on this planet, are they? And I say, yeah, you're right, Robert, but tomorrow you'll come up with a great idea of how things could work even better. And he always does. So, what am I telling you? I'm telling you, each of you are now commissioned as ambassadors of peace. Start your peace corner in your room, or your house, your church, your wherever you need it. And to remember that the people around you are counting on you to bring them a little happiness. I think we have a responsibility to be joyful, and that even though things are not perfect on the planet, joy spreads. It's really contagious.